Today, I'm trying to sell Henry a product. Well, what product is this? You're not going to find your favorite YouTuber promoting it. You're never going to see this on Amazon. And heck, the Super Bowl should be playing ads about this in between their games, but they don't. So who's Henry? Well, Henry's your friend. Heck, you might even be Henry. And Henry is the new acronym to describe a ball and chainer, which essentially stands for high earner, not rich yet. We all know those celebrities driving around in their fancy sports cars, their big fabulous homes, but they spend, for every $1 they make, they're spending in two. They're taking out debt, they're taking out credit. This is the term for a ball and chainer, but it's super perspective based because, trust me, you don't need to be a high earner to be rich, and your perspective on rich or wealth might be quite different than somebody driving around in a Lambo. I don't know how you enjoy your life and what you actually define as wealth, but you're never going to get through any of this. You're never going to be rich or wealthy, and you're never really going to be a true high earner unless you know how to buy this one product. And this isn't a product you've probably ever heard of in your life, but it's time. You can actually buy time. Time is probably the most valuable product on the planet, and it is the most unrecognized product because when you have time, you have the freedom to spend it with your family and your kids, which might bring you more richness and more wealth and fulfillment than buying a Lamborghini or a nice house. If you have time, you're going to be able to work on the projects that most fulfill you. You're going to be able to get up stress-free and be able to do whatever you want and not have to show up to a job where you're handing over your time for minimum wage. And let me just make this clear, guys. Time is the most valuable thing on the planet because at the end of it, you're going to die and you're never going to get this time back. And we are all going to have to face that reality sooner or later. So we have to spend as much time focusing on that time. And they don't teach you this in school. They're not going to tell you about this on a commercial because this doesn't give you any more time. It gives the person that you're buying stuff from more time, depending on how they're utilizing that wealth. Now, when we take money, guys, a lot of us don't understand exactly how money works. We think it's just this transferable piece of paper and we just spend it as we get it. And how do we exactly go about even buying time? Well, we have to take Henry here. And I'm trying to sell Henry on the idea of having more time to do what he wants, more time to travel, more time to spend it on his family than trying to live up to this egotistical lifestyle. So Henry goes out to his job and Henry's going to make, let's say, $50,000 a year. And then Henry's going to pay all of his bills and he's going to go out on weekends with his friends and have drinks. He wants a nice car. I mean, we're not talking Lambos, but maybe he wants a brand new car, like a nice Lexus or a new Tesla or something of that nature. He justifies all these expenses to himself. And at the end of the month, he maybe has a couple $100 left over, which he's just probably going to spend going out at lunch when he's at his work. Now, how do you not become a Henry? Because at the end of it, Henry's only buying things that go down in value. But you shouldn't be living at a standard that is costing you all of your time. I'm sure you've heard of the phrase, pay yourself first. Everybody says this, put money in the bank, pay yourself first. Why did that saying come about? Well, because you're buying your own time. That way, when you don't have a job, if you don't have work, or if you want the freedom to do something for yourself, you're going to have that cash reserve. And let's presume that money isn't money. I wish I had $1. Do I have a bill on me here? This $5 is $5 of my time. This is freedom. This equals time. It shouldn't even say dollar bill. It should say time saved. Every one of these dollars you put away, presume it's another bit of time you just bought yourself into the future. Now, it's not just about buying time and putting money in the bank. It's about making that money make time. So how do we produce time with money? Well, we have to put that money to work. So what we can do is invest it into the stock market and buy individual businesses. We can buy real estate. We can invest it into our education and start growing a business and hiring employees, which will generate more time without me providing any more time. This is called time generation, or as many people like to call it, financial independence, financial freedom. And it's somebody that's figured out a way to create enough time, even without them being there, to generate enough income to basically pay their bills, giving them the freedom to not have to go to work. Now, Henry is one of those guys that if he wants a better lifestyle, well, he's going to have to continue working and he's going to have to find another job. And he's trading all of his time for the money he's using to buy things that rot. If you're buying things that rot, and what do we mean by things that rot? Well, things that you're buying that over time lose value. If you own more things that lose value over time and you're working for those things, well, technically you're just rotting your time. You're letting your time rot because you still have to show up to the job, and at the end of a decade, all that stuff you just bought is now worth less, if not nothing, for all that time you had to put into it. So what you need to do is start generating your own personal time and putting that time that you're making with that money toward things that are going to go up in value over time. In the stock market with dividend investing, I have been able to generate $125,000 by putting away about $1,000 a month over the last 5 years. That has taken some extreme sacrifice. You will never ever be wealthy or rich without sacrifice, and you can't buy time without actually taking the sacrifice of all the stuff Henry wants to spend money on. I'm not talking about becoming a full-on minimalist here, and I'm not talking about sacrificing your Starbucks. I'm just saying that at some point, if you do not pay yourself, you will work until the day you die, as Warren Buffett says. If you can't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to be working until the day you die. So we have to realize that there is products out there that offer us time. And these are just investments. And there's all kinds of these, and there's no excuse for you not to be taking advantage of these, considering you have the internet. The other thing is even if Henry isn't a high earner, and Henry's making like I make, which can be anywhere from 20 to 30, maybe 40,000 a year off my working income, which is very volatile because I work for myself, but it's not the money you make, it's what you do with it. I want to give you a quick example, because many of you that watch this channel know that I manage a six-figure portfolio, and on average over the 5 years, this portfolio has been giving me a rate of return of about 16%. Now, 16% on $120,000 is what? It's roughly $18,000 a year in extra income. Think about how much time that I had to sacrifice to get my portfolio, and I actually had to put all that money away to get it to the point where it is now. But think about the time that this is generating me. The time that this is paying me is almost a full-time job after taxes at McDonald's. This is some incredible stuff off a minimal amount of sacrifice. Now, 5 years is like a jail sentence. I literally live in a closet. I don't buy fancy stuff, and I constantly reuse the same stuff that I own so I can continue buying time, because I do not want to get to 65 and have just enough to survive. In fact, I plan on retiring much earlier than that, and I've already kind of considered myself into retirement because I wake up every single day doing exactly what I love. I don't have somebody telling me what time I have to be somewhere, and I don't have anyone barking orders down my throat. And heck, if I don't agree with you, I'm not talking about Mark Cuban where he says, F you money. I don't have that kind of money, but I do have the kind of money to financially sustain my current living standards quite comfortably while I continue to work on my projects. Because getting up every day and working on what you love, and once you start seeing success, and it brings you more gratification, more fulfillment in the pursuit of happiness. Because trust me, you're not going to be happy being in debt, because I've been $20,000 in debt. I took out loans when I was 19 years old. I felt the pain of the years of feeling like I had a pressure on my shoulders, like being in a jail cell, trying to keep up with those payments and not let debt acquire or cure over time, because it's just absolutely bonkers. It's insanity, and it's not something I would recommend to anybody, considering I can hang out with whoever I want to hang out with when I want to hang out with them. I do business meetings with who I want to do business meetings with. I used to be a Henry, guys. I sacrificed relationships for my job because my job required me to work weekends and holidays. I couldn't really take breaks. I was just trying to get ahead in life, and it cost me a relationship, because most people don't work weekends and holidays. Most people work a 9-to-5 job. So it very conflicted with my personal life, and it cost me an incredibly large amount, my overall well-being on my pursuit to happiness. And I realized this isn't a life that I want to sustain. I don't want to be a guy that's working 7 days a week to keep my high income to own the stuff that I want to own so I can keep up with the Joneses. I would rather have absolutely nothing with all my money invested, paying me monthly, so I collect a check that allows me to sit down with my girlfriend, that allows me to go out to dinner and not have to worry about where my next paycheck comes from. And then when I get home, I get to work on the projects that I work on whenever I so want to work on them, including this YouTube channel for you guys. So consider slapping a like and subscribing, because this information is unbelievably valuable. And this is something that I would tell my 16-year-old self or my friend Henry, though Henry is a guy that doesn't always listen, and Henry might not always agree with you. But trust me, when you get up every day, you get to sleep in and do exactly what you love to do. I mean, you're going to realize that the value of time is probably the best product you're ever going to buy. And I want you to let me know if I sold you on this product or not. It's not the easiest product to buy, but you start by simply just paying yourself first. I'm not talking you got to go learn how the whole stock market works. I'm not telling you you got to go figure out the real estate game right away, but you do need to start paying yourself first and putting your own time away. That's the first step, guys. Just give yourself some time and freedom to know that, you know, in the future you can take a break. And then what you really want to do is start generating cash flow or generating time with time. Take your money, put it into an asset that actually creates an income, find the right people. You got the internet. I'm not going to do that in this video today. Or you can just learn from me. I do a lot with the stock market. It's, like I said, crazy rate of return right now. You can get dividends. It's an incredible thing, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this quick video of me breaking down this new acronym called Henry. A bit of a fun video nonetheless, but stay cool. Stay awesome, guys. I look forward to chatting to you real soon.